So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I remember the last video I brought to us, updating us about the Senator Natasha case. That should be sometime in June, July. I informed us of her victory at the Federal High Court, where the justice sitting her case declared her 6-month suspension as unconstitutional, illegal, and excessive. Aside from that declaration, the justice also held that the Senate lacked the legal basis for that suspension, and that it not only violated her right to fair hearing, it also disenfranchised her constituents of representation.
Thank you for your support. I'm glad you were victorious today. And we shall resume in the Senate on Tuesday.
We love you! We love you!
When this judgment was given, there was an eruption of pure, undiluted joy and celebration on the streets. Her constituents literally shut down the town to celebrate their senator's victory. And these are the people that they said initiated a recall against her, that are not confident of her representing them at the Senate. These are the same people. It's all right. When that verdict was given, it was celebrated not because the people are not aware or are not cognizant of the abracadabra of Nigerian politics. They are, but they still went ahead to celebrate because they felt like the judgment itself was some kind of victory, not just her resumption. People were so delighted to know that Senator Natasha can drag a whole sitting Senate president with all his backing, all his power, all his connection to a court in Nigeria and get judgment in her favor. To them, that was not only refreshing, it was history worthy. Before we proceed, let's take a very quick commercial break here. So if you are in the province of Alberta, or you're looking at relocating to Alberta, anywhere in Alberta, Calgary, Edmonton, and its environs, and you're looking at buying or selling a house, I've got the perfect plug for you. You know that when I see something good, I do not like to keep it away from my people. Let me introduce you to one of the very best realtors in Alberta. Chris is a passionate, experienced, and very vast realtor who would guide you to your perfect buy or sale. You may think that you know how these things work, but I cannot begin to recount the many mistakes that we would have made if he was not on ground to put things in place before, during, and even after the process. An expert is an expert for a reason, so do not underscore their importance in every process. Do reach out to him. I'm going to leave his contact down on the screen, down in the description box, and pinned in the comments. So if you're looking to buy or sell property or do any other thing that a realtor can do, he is your surest plug in Canada, in Alberta. Let's go on with this video. I remember when all this celebration and jubilation was going on. I told you guys, you remember that video? I told you guys, calm down, oh. You can dance, but don't dance too much. Don't dance and scatter leg too much, because nothing is guaranteed yet. Because what cannot happen in Nigeria does not exist. And alas, my warnings were well founded. So after this judgment, Senator Natasha attempted resuming office. She tried gaining entry into the National Assembly complex, but she was prevented by security operatives. She was blocked, turned back, and embarrassed.
Arise, mother! Yes,
May I also know you, please? No, exactly. What's your designation? You are a staff of the National Assembly. From which department? Excuse me, I'm having a conversation with you. Gentleman, you are a staff of the National Assembly? You are the security. Okay, so may I know why a staff of the National Assembly will stop a serving senator from walking into the chambers to commence her functions in representing her people who have duly given her the mandate as elected and as sworn in, duly issued a certificate of return by INEC to carry out her constituted function. So may I know why a security from the National Assembly will stop a serving senator from walking in? And can I see written authority of your mandate to stand here right before me?
We're like, hey, what is going on here? Didn't the Federal High Court just give verdict voiding Senator Natasha's suspension and recognizing that she had a right to her seat? Giving a literal interpretation of that judgment, when a court declares something unconstitutional, null and void, it means that it is to be deemed as though it never happened. It's just like a person who has a subsisting statutory marriage going ahead to marry somebody else. In the eyes of the law, that marriage does not exist because it is void. So when something is void, it is deemed by law not to have even taken place at the first instance. So this lady has gone months without a job, without salary, without benefits, without security, and now she has her court verdict. So why is she still being prevented from gaining entry into the complex? People asked. Let me tell you the Senate's reason for sending Senator Natasha back, despite judgment was in her favor. Let me tell you what happened. Immediately that judgment in favor of Senator Natasha dropped, the Senate president swung into action and filed an appeal at the court, the next court of superior jurisdiction, the Court of Appeal, challenging the Federal High Court's decision declaring that suspension unconstitutional. So he appealed that judgment that gave Senator Natasha victory. And some people were like, hey, this is becoming very serious. So, the Senate president is really taking this seat allocation very, very seriously. It seems sitting position must be a very serious, unforgivable criminal offense in Nigeria. Or is it something else?
I made an allegation of sexual harassment against the President of Nigerian Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, on the 5th day of March 2025, and the very next day I was suspended for 6 months. I believe my suspension was illegal, it's unjust, and it's just a way of silencing me.
The Nigerian Senate has stated that your suspension is not related to the allegations that you've made of sexual harassment or assault, but due to gross misconduct and unruly behaviour on your part, firmly refuting what they call the deliberate misinformation and false narrative being circulated regarding your 6-month suspension.
Anna, yes, they did mention that I was suspended on accounts of gross misconduct. But can they please provide exactly what the gross misconduct is that amounts for 6 months suspension the day after I submitted a petition? I was suspended because of that petition, not because of any gross misconduct. Let's talk about the gross misconduct that have happened in the Nigerian chambers. I was only told to move, and I refused to move my seat because I deserve to be notified. I deserve to be given a chance to explain why I should retain my seat. But you see, I have seen in that chambers where men fight, where senators throw items at each other, curse each other, shout at each other, but they were not suspended. Why? Because they are men? There's this culture of silence, harassment and fear, intimidation.
So the Senate's argument was that since there was an appeal pending on that case is sub judice, since it is before another court. Hence, they will not let Senator Natasha resume her position until the final decision of the appellate court. Secondly, the Senate was arguing that the Federal High Court lacked jurisdiction to hear the case, meaning they lacked the rights to even entertain the matter, entertain Senator Natasha's suits at all, because the internal Senate processes through the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges had not been fully exhausted. So according to them, they're supposed to deal with it internally within the Senate first. And when all options and remedies have been exhausted in the Senate, before Senator Natasha can now take it to court. The same Senate Committee on Ethics, where we saw the chairman of the committee come out to take a side and say, I don't think the Senator Akpabio is like that. He said he's just a playful man. He said that is the person that they expected her to bring her case to.
We joke a lot in the Senate. I must let you know that. I do not think that that the conduct of the Senate President on the floor is such that is against the female in the chambers.
Thirdly, the Senate was saying that the reason why they would not allow Senator Natasha to resume office, despite that judgment, was that the judgment was merely declaratory, that there were no enforceable orders given by the justice. There was no order of injunction, there was no mandamus, there was no order of reinstatement, there was no mandate given to be carried out, that the court merely just declared that it was unconstitutional, but didn't give a mandate that she be reinstated. So people are wondering, when the court says that an act is void and unconstitutional, what does it translate to? Meaning that thing should not hold at all now. So what is the natural implication and interpretation of a court judgment that declared an act void and unconstitutional and illegal? So is an illegal thing supposed to be enforced? Doesn't that already say that that act should already be cancelled? But the Senate insisted that the order was only declaratory and not enforceable. And lastly, they said that they had not seen the certified true copy, the CTC of the judgment, that they have to wait first and see the CTC before they let her in. So on these grounds, they turned Senator Natasha back from the gate, humiliated her, embarrassed her publicly, and sent her back home. It's very possible that Senator Natasha knew that was what was going to happen, but she went there anyway, so it can be on record that she attempted to gain entry and was denied. So after that humiliation and embarrassment, she picked up her bags and wanted to make a trip to London. Why wouldn't she? Her official security had been withdrawn from her. She has every reason to be afraid of her life and her safety. Remember that she had come out publicly to say, so person after my life, they want to assassinate me. These people want to do bad things to me. So, pending when that will be settled, she packed her bags with her husband and hit the airport to travel to London. And news report has it that right there at the airport, another embarrassment awaited her. Her passport was seized. This is how that news put it. Senator Natasha AKPABIO.Court's international passport was briefly seized by Nigerian immigration officers at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, on Wednesday morning, causing a momentary travel scare before she eventually boarded a British Airways flight to London. Eyewitnesses at the airport said that the senator arrived at the international terminal with her husband, Chief Emmanuel Uduaghan, only to be stopped by immigration officers who flagged her as a national security risk. Travelers reported that Senator Natasha remained calm and composed throughout the ordeal, insisting that the officers had no legal authority to seize her passport. The court never authorized this. You have no right to hold my passport, she was overheard telling the officers while urging them to allow her to proceed. Sources at the airport said the directive to hold her travel documents was issued by the Controller General of Immigration. As we're trying to digest this and wonder what kind of security risk the senator could have posed to the sovereignty and the territory and the independence of the nation, sharp, we saw the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, remove Senator Natasha as the chairman of diaspora and non-government organizations, a position that she has held for a while. And she had done so very well in that seat, coming up with intelligent policies, giving good advocacies, being transparent and valuable. We saw videos of the Senate president immediately take the position from her and replace her, giving it to another person, Aniekan Basi.
No, it's not. I think the new chairman of the Senate Committee on Diaspora and NGOs is distinguished Senator Aniekan Basi, and it will take effect from today.
He even admitted that some of the senators have 2-3 positions that they are occupying as chairman or vice chairman. Then the only one that the woman is holding, he stripped her of it.
So we will make some changes to our vice chairmanship positions next week as a result of the fact that some of the senators have two vice chairmanship positions. In fact, I know of one who has 3.
But as the attacks and the arrows were coming from left, right, back, front, and center, she stood firm. Oh, she stood strong against all odds. She stood defiant. Sharing these photographs of her beautiful self and her amazing husband, she captioned it, "Too glam to give a damn," despite she had been stripped of all her rights and privileges as a senator. Senator Natasha continued empowering her people out of her pockets, out of her personal finances. She kept on training and developing her constituents with her own personal resources, laptops, free computers, opening of markets, giving money to start businesses. She stood strong, smiling and unfazed. Now it is September, and the 6-month suspension that was given to her has lapsed, and everybody had their eyes and ears open, asking, what is it gonna be? Will the Nigerian Senate be so lawless in the face of the world watching? Will they act arbitrarily to the full gaze of the Interparliamentary Union that Senator Natasha had dragged them to? Will they openly and flagrantly disregard and disrespect the rule of law? Well, I guess not. On the 23rd of September, Senator Natasha's office was unsealed by the Sergeant at Arms, enabling her to physically return to her office, and trust them to have made a cinematic performance of that.
To unseal Senator Natasha Akpabio's office, I, Alabiade, Deputy Director, Sergeant at Arms, hereby unseal the office. The office is hereby unsealed.
The celebration that erupted on the streets would bring you to tears. I mean, we had full-fledged men with their mattresses and their blankets and pillows saying that they were going to camp right in front of the National Assembly until Senator Natasha is allowed to go in.
Peter for Natasha! Natasha for Nigeria! The princess of the Senate! You are taking your place today! You are a senator! Nobody can remove you! Your people are with you! God is with you! This is the wife of Alan. Hey! Akpabio don't play! Akpabio don't play! And share it! For where? For this country. Akpabio, you lie. I say, Akpabio, you are a liar. Natasha must resume. Akpabio, you go hear word. Akpabio, Akpabio, Akpabio. Akpabio, you go hear word. Natasha must resume. Akpabio, since you won't let the revolution start with you, we go reach National Assembly. We are going to that National Assembly. And Shereni, I say Natasha will resume today. No woman, no nation. Mama P. Oh God. People they die. Insecurity. You are fighting another woman for 6 months. Na lie. Na lie. Akpabio, you are a liar. You are not God. Natasha, they resume. Who is you? Where is my distinguished senator?
She was flanked and surrounded by a sea of genuine supporters. Authentic, effortless love that cannot be bought, lobbied, or arranged. You needed to see the uncultivated happiness that erupted as people walked with her and she gained entrance into a place that she had been unceremoniously thrown out of.
Please, give her. I'm going to give her a chance now.
Senate's plenary session is slated to resume on the 7th of October, and the world looks forward to seeing her unruffled, undaunted, and unbreakable self walk into the room and assume her seat. Will that happen? Or will there be another drama that awaits us? To heave a sigh and say it is all over will be us deluding ourselves. Matter of factly, this is only the beginning. It will be a long and bumpy ride. But in all of this, I'll just say that some women are destined to have to be dragged through the thickets and the bushes to make a path that would make the women behind them walk easily.
It's amazing what we had to survive, and I give God Almighty the glory and my deepest appreciation to the good people of Kogi Central, Kogi State, and Nigeria at large. My husband, my love, if you say this, I love you dearly. In short, I pray all men support their wives as much as you have supported me. And my children, thank you for your sacrifices. So in everything, it just shows that sometimes it's good to put the institutions to test. We can't cow down in the face of injustice. No one is more Nigerian than us. Senator Akpabio is not more of a senator than I am. He's not a governor of this place. And he treated me as if I was his servant, or I was a domestic staff in his house. It's very unfortunate that at this time, after so many years of democracy, we would have a National Assembly be run by such dictatorship. It's totally unacceptable. As for me, I'm glad to be here. And even though we have been illegally suspended, no day have I hesitated in effectively carrying out my duties as a senator of Kogi Central to the very best of my capacity.
This is her story. This is history. Her name is Honorable Senator Natasha Akpabio, the distinguished senator representing the people of Kogi Central. I would have my eyes open and I'll keep you updated as layers of the story unfolds. Let us get your thoughts down in the comment section and drop a very big, hearty and warm congratulations to Senator Natasha down in the comment section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your thoughts down in the comment section, and stay glued, for we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.
I represent people, and I represent women who have been silenced. So permit me to speak without my microphone being silenced, dear sir, President of the Nigerian Senate. Order 10 on privileges. I stand and I believe herefore, sir, that your denial, your refusal to accept and treat my petition before the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges and Abuse of my privileges, and I say forth, that this matter is not subject, it is not before the court. The matter before the court is on the defamation and cyberbullying statements made by your special assistant on new media, Mr. Patrick Umfom, who addressed my decent outfits as transparent, thereby depicting that I walk sedulously and naked to the chambers. That is the nature of the petition of the case in court. This petition, sir, has never been filed. The petition that alleges, or should I say, accuses you of making sexual harassment moves, abusing your office, and making malicious obstructions to my legislative functions has not been tendered anywhere before, no courts in Nigeria. So, sir, I would appreciate if you kindly accept my petition and forward same to the Ethics and Privileges Committee so it could be treated. Thank you, sir.